today's video, I'll be comparing the oldest secret units to the newest secret units to see which team can make it the furthest in SpongeBob Tower Defense. At the moment, there's a total of 8 secret units, so we'll be comparing the oldest 4 to the newest 4 ones. So make sure you watch this video to see which team wins. And without any more waiting, let's just start naming out everything we'll be bringing with the older team, that of which will be the Cyborg Plankton, Spongehenge, Dream Gary, and finally Sea Bear. And yeah, for this video as well, every single unit will have to be exactly level 30 and will have secret formula on it. And luckily, earlier this morning, I actually just traded it for a level 30 Dream Gary, a level 30 Spongehenge, a level 30 Sea Bear, and yep, believe it or not, a level 30 Cyborg Plankton. And then yep, on top of all this, we'll also be bringing a Krusty Krab just so we can farm enough money to place all these guys down. And since we have one extra placement slot, we might as well bring the best starting unit in the game, the Elastic Waistband. And yep, now that we have this entire team of full units equipped in, let's definitely see exactly how far we can get on Endless Mode Con Street, Endless Mode A. Here we go. And yeah, for this one game, we'll make sure to fully auto-skip the entire time, and we'll do the exact same thing for the other round too. And yeah, I guess for now we'll just place down our Elastic Waistband right here just to take care of all the early game stuff. That way we can place and max down both our Krusty Krabs next. So yeah, by wave 3 we were able to place both of them, and it seems like by wave 5 or 6 we'll be able to max up both of them. So yeah, as soon as this skips to wave 6, just like that, we'll be able to instantly max out 1 and 2. Perfect. Now we can definitely start by maxing out every single secret unit, starting with definitely the Cyborg, which we'll place right around here. Since obviously it does do piercing damage, and you definitely want to place it in a long track area, that way it can maximize the amount of damage possible. But yeah, already on level 1, they're already on level 0, it's doing 6,450 damage, there is 0.6 seconds and has 45 range on it. But anyway, yeah, now we can get it to level 1, and 2, 3, 4, and finally level 5. Yeah, what makes it does 12,900 damage every 0.5 seconds and has 60 range. Yeah, that means it just barely reaches all these corners that are over this way, which is exactly what I wanted it to do, and yeah, basically it's full map coverage as well. Yeah, besides this very front area right here, it basically reaches the entire map, which will help us out so much for sure. Anyway, now we might as well place a max out of Sea Bear, which we'll place right around here, I suppose. So yeah, there's that one's leveled. Well, actually, on level 0 is doing 12,540 damage every 0.5 seconds and has 48 range. Yep, already we can get it to level 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yeah, we max out does 25,080 damage every 0.4 seconds and has 64 range on it. Yeah, this was even closer to being able to reach the entire map, and I'm pretty sure if we still replace it even slightly better, like maybe right around here, it might actually be able to reach the entire map. Yeah, dang, it's still missing this very back area right this way. I feel like if we place it even slightly better than this, like maybe right here, it will reach the entire map. So yeah, let's see, it still reaches basically the entire back area, and nice, it does reach the very beginning over this way too. Yeah, I think this is the spot where we'll keep the Sea Bear for now, and now let's just max out the Dream Gary. That of which I think we'll place right around this spot. So yeah, there's the Dream Gary max out. When we max out the Dream Gary, does 4,650 damage every 0.6 seconds and has 42 range. And yeah, it basically reaches all the area that we needed to, and yeah, I kind of want to sell and replace it, that way it can reach more of this corner. So actually, instead of over this way, I think we're actually going to sell and replace it maybe right around here, just so it does reach that area much better. Yeah, unfortunately, we do sacrifice this very beginning area right this way, but to be fair, we do reach more of this backtrack over this way too. So I think it's definitely worth placing it here instead. Anyway, last but not least, we definitely need to max out the Spongehenge, which we'll definitely place directly in the center, probably right over this way. And already at level 0, this one's doing a total of 18,576 damage every 0.8 seconds and has 45 range. And we max out, it goes all the way to 49,536 damage every 0.6 seconds, and now it's 54 range. So yeah, not too bad. I think we basically placed it in the exact perfect spot that we needed to. And yeah, now we might as well sell our Elastic Waistband, since now that we're fully maxed out, we really don't need it anymore. Wait, we already did enough yapping to make it all the way to a 55, which is crazy. But we're not done yet. Now we need to figure out exactly how much damage we're doing in total with this team. So if we pull out a trusty little calculator right here, and let's just start with the oldest one, the Dream Gary, the Cyborg Plankton. We can do 12,900 divided by 0.5 to get exactly how much damage it does a second, which is approximately 25,800. Not too bad at all. That's honestly pretty solid for the first secret unit ever added into the game. But yeah, for the second one added is actually the Sponge Engine. Yeah, this one does quite a lot more damage if you can't tell already. So yeah, let's double forward the calculator yet again, and oh bro, come on, stop popping up, are you serious? Alright, here we go, now it popped up again. So we do 49,536 divided by 0.6 seconds, we get exactly 82,560 damage a second. Yeah, out of all four of these secrets, the third one to be added was obviously the Dream Gary over this side, and this was actually the first Conch Summon secret unit ever to be added. So let's see, yep, this one's doing 4,650 damage, so we'll put that into the calculator, and then we'll divide by 0.6 like so. Yeah, this one's doing roughly 7,750 damage a second. Last but not least on the list is obviously the Sea Bear, which is actually the newest out of these four, but it's still considered the oldest four, since obviously there's a lot more secret units that have been added since then after this one. Well, let's see, okay, this one's doing 25,080 damage every 0.4 seconds, and yeah, so this one's doing roughly 62,700 damage. You know the drill, now it's only time to add up every single one of these all together. And yet, now that they're all lined up in number order from how much damage they do, least to most, we can definitely pull up one final calculator to see exactly how much damage we're doing in a second. So we do 77,500 plus 25,800 plus 62,700 and finally plus 82,560. We get exactly a total of 178,810 damage a second. Not to mention, one of the units we are using is the Slayer unit, which makes this team even better. So I definitely expect to get to at least wave 300, if not 400, maybe even 500. Anyway, somehow we're already 3 waves away from wave 100, and now we're only 2 waves away from wave 100. And yep, now we're only 1 wave away. And here comes the first Dirty Ball boss that we are commentating over. It was a giant one, the 24,000 health one, and this time it died over this way. Easy. Yeah, wow, we already made it to wave 100. That's honestly insane that we did enough yapping to already make it here already. That's crazy. Anyway, yeah, now we can definitely fully focus on every single Dirty Ball boss that does spawn, and yeah, for now we do have our first one to spawn, and yeah, here it is with the smaller one. And yeah, that one only had 12,000 health, and this time it died over this way. Anyway, now we're 3 waves away from wave 110, and now we're only 2 waves away. And I'm pretty sure, yep, here comes our next medium-sized one with 15,000 health dying over this way, and now we're only 1 wave away from wave 110, and boom, now we made it to wave 110. And wave 113 is when our next Man Ray boss spawns in, so yeah, or not Man Ray boss, our Dirty Ball boss that spawns in, so yeah, I'll see you guys in 1 wave now. Alright, boom, there we go. Now we finally made it to wave 113 at last, and this time the giant Dirty Ball died over this way. And now we're 3 waves away from wave 120, and we have our next small Dirty Ball spawning on this wave too. Yep, here comes right then and there, this time with 14,000 health also dying right here. But now we're 2 waves away from wave 120, and now we're only 1 wave away, and boom, now we made it to wave 120. On wave 122 is when our next medium-sized one spawns in and still dies over this way. On wave 127 though, we have another giant one also down right here, and now we're only 2 waves away from wave 130, and 1 wave away, and boom, now we made it to wave 130. On wave 132, we had our next smaller one also die over this way too. On wave 137 though, we had our next medium-sized one also die over here. And now we finally made it past wave 140, and actually on wave 141, we have our next giant one with 42,000 still instantly dying right this way. And yeah, basically right now, the Sea Bear and the Cyborg are doing all the work. The Sponge Engine literally done 0 damage, and same for the Dream Gary. Okay, never mind. The Dream Gary has only done 20,000 health, but yeah, either way, it's only had 12 takedowns. Compared to the Cyborg, which almost has 200, and the Sea Bear, which has over 1,000 now. Jeez. Yeah, by wave 146, we had our next small Dirty Ball die, and now we're 3 waves away from wave 150. And now we're only 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, now we made it to wave 150. On wave 151, we had another medium-sized one still die over this way, so yeah, not much has gone past this section right this way. But on wave 155 is when our next giant one spawns in, this time with 50,000, still dying, not even past the Krusty Krab. Yeah, now we made it to be 3 waves away from wave 160, and now we're only 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, now we made it there too. On wave 160, we had the next smaller one die, and on wave 165, we had our next medium-sized one still die over here. And actually on wave 169 is when our next giant one spawns in, this time with 60,000 still dying right here. Anyway, now we also made it to wave 170, so yeah, we're getting insanely close to wave 202. And on wave 173, we had another smaller one die over here. On wave 178, we had a medium-sized one with 38,000 health, and now we made it to wave 180, meaning we're 20 waves away from wave 200. And on wave 183, we had a giant one with 72,000 health, finally making it somewhat far right over here. Yeah, finally last over 180 waves of the Dirty Ball was making at least the slightest, most utmost, most smallest amount of progress. But now we're through to wave for wave 190. And actually on wave 198, 188, we had the next meteor. Small dirty ball die right here, but now we're one wave away from wave 190. And boom, now we made it to wave 190, meaning we're 10 waves away from wave 200. On wave 193, we had our final medium-sized one before we make it to wave 200. And now we're officially 5 waves away from wave 200, and now we're only 3 waves away. And boom, now we made it to wave 200. Yeah, we already defeated the next giant dirty ball, which was super easy to defeat. And on wave 202, we had our first small dirty ball after wave 200 dying right here still. And on wave 207, we had our next medium-sized one still also die right here. And boom, now we made it past wave 210, and we had our first giant dirty ball to reach over 100,000 health, also dying right over here. On wave 216, though, we had another smaller one also die right here. And now we're officially through to wave 220, and now we're only 2 waves away. And 1 wave away. And boom, now we made it to wave 220. On wave 221, we have another medium-sized one also die right here. And on wave 225, we have another giant one reaching over 125,000 health, also dying over this way. Now we're officially through to wave 230 though. And now we're only 2 waves away. 1 wave away. And bang, now we made it there too. There goes the next small dirty ball over this way again. And on wave 235, we had another medium-sized one also in the exact same spot that the smaller dirty ball died. And now we're officially all on wave 239 with the next giant one reaching over here, and boom, now we made it to wave 240. On wave 244, we had another smaller one also die right here. And on wave 249, we had another medium-sized one die over this way. And bang, now we made it to wave 250. On wave 253, we had another giant one spawning in. And yeah, this was also going to make it not really far at all with 181,000 still dying right this way. And on wave 258, we have another smaller one still dying right here. And boom, now we made it past wave 260. On wave 263, we have another medium-sized one finally reaching over 100,000, still dying right here though. And now we're officially through to wave 270, and we had the next giant one with over 200,000 making it right here, but now we're only 2 waves away from wave 270. And 1 wave away, and bang, now we made it to wave 270. On wave 272, we have another smaller one finally reaching over 100,000 health as well, making it right this way. And this time on wave 277, now we're 3 waves away from wave 280, and we had another medium-sized one die right here. But now we're only 2 waves away from wave 280, 1 wave away, and bang, now we also made it to wave 280. On wave 281, we have another giant one with 260,000 health, making it all the way over this way. And on wave 286, we have another smaller one die right here. And bang, now we also made it to wave 290. On wave 291, we have our final medium-sized one before we make it to wave 300 dying right here. And now we're officially only 5 waves away from wave 300, and we have our final giant dirty bubble boss on this way before we make it to wave 300 with over 300,000 health. Yeah, this one's gonna die right this way, and we still easily were able to defeat it, but now we're 4 waves away from wave 300, 3 waves away, 2 away, 1 away, and boom, now we finally made it to wave 300. Yeah, now I think I'm definitely done commentating over all these small dirty balls, so yeah, they're still not really making much progress at all. And instead we'll only focus on all the medium-sized one like that one right this way that made it right here. And we'll commentate over every single time we're about to defeat the next giant dirty ball like this one with 375,000 health. Yeah, this one's dead right over this way. But yeah, nice. Now we also made it to wave 310 on the dot. But on wave 319, we have our next giant, or not giant, medium-sized one with almost 250,000 health die right here. And nice. Now we made it to wave 320. On wave 323, we have our first giant dirty ball to reach over 450,000 health dying right over here now. And this time by wave 333, we have another medium-sized one die right here. And now we're officially through to wave point 340, and we have our next giant one reaching over 500,000 health, this time dying over this way. But yeah, now we're only 2 waves away from wave 340, 1 wave away, and boom, now we made it to wave 340. On wave 347 though, we have our next medium-sized one, and now we're through to wave point 350, this time dying right here, but now we're only 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, now we made it to wave 350. On wave 351, though, we have our next giant one with almost over 600,000 health, this time 9 right here. So I definitely have a big feeling that the next one will definitely be able to make it to Patrick's house. And on wave 361, though, now we have another medium-sized one with over 400,000 health, also dying right here. And on wave 365, we have another giant one with almost 800,000 health, and yep, like predicted, it made it to Patrick's house, dying right this way. Yeah, we're already closing in on wave 400, which is kind of crazy considering we're already through this wave from wave 370. But now we're only 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, now we made it there too. On wave 379, we have our next giant one with over 900,000 health this time, also making it past Patrick's house yet again, this time dying right here. And boom, now we made it to wave 380, meaning we're 20 waves away from wave 400. On wave 399, we have another medium-sized one reaching over 500,000 this time, also dying almost to Patrick's house, and nice, now we made it to wave 390. Yeah, that's crazy, we're already 10 waves away from wave 400, bro, this is going so quick. And then we finally realized we actually had a few normal enemies starting to make it over here, like these big slow anchovies. So it definitely seems like soon enough we might actually end up losing. In fact, yeah, here comes our first giant dirty ball to reach over 1,000,000 health. Still, this one's not really making it too far at all. It just barely made it past the intersection dying right this way. But now we're 5 waves away from wave 400. And now we're only 4 waves away. And 3 waves away, 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, now we actually made it to wave 400. Wow. Yeah, I think now, including the small dirty balls, I think I'm done commentating over all the medium-sized ones that spawn in like this one right here. But what we still do care about is all these giant ones that spawn in like this one with 1.3 million health. Yeah, now we're 30 away from wave 410, and this time the giant dirty balls, wow, it's gonna make it all the way right here. But now we'll need 2 waves away from wave 410, 1 wave away, and boom, now we made it to wave 410. Nice, now we also made it past wave 420. Yeah, dang, now we've even bigger to the slow anchovies making it back over here now, and here comes the next giant one with 1.6 million health. But dang, it's still at over 1,000,000 health where it died last time, and this time it's gonna make it past this corner all the way right around here. Dang. Yeah, we might still be able to make it to wave 500, but it's definitely gonna be close whether or not we're truly able to for sure. Anyway, nice, now we made it to wave 430. And dang, even the medium-sized ones at these points are reaching over 1,000,000 health on them each. But on wave 435, we have another giant one, and it's not even being slowed until this corner over this way. Dang, yeah, it's sold over 1,000,000 health over this corner and over 1,000,000 health over here. And yep, it's already passing the old area where it died last time, and this time it's gonna die well over this way, right over this way. Anyway, now we're officially through this wave for wave 440, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, now we finally made it there too. And actually on wave 449, we have our first giant dirty bullet to reach over 2 million health on it. Yeah, finally gets down to 2 million all the way over this way once it started getting slowed. And yep, now it's down to its last 1 million health over this way. And yep, this time the giant dirty ball is gonna make it really, really far all the way out here. Dang, bro, slow your horses down, bro, chill out. Anyway, now we finally made it to wave 450. Followed by wave 463, though we have another giant one with over 2.7 million health. And yeah, it didn't even get started getting slowed until over here, but now it's down to 2 million health. 1 million health, and dang, it's even gonna make it to this corner. Yeah, the Dream Gary can only slow all the way over this, so yeah, that's probably the last dirty ball that's gonna get fully slowed forever. Yeah, I forgot to mention we already made it past wave 460 now, as well as wave 470. On wave 477, I'm pretty sure is when the next giant dirty ball spawns in. So here comes in 3, 2, 1, boom. Yeah, finally starting to reach over 3 million health, and lucky it's actually starting to get slowed over this way since, yeah, I kind of got intersected with all the ones that were passing by over here. Yep, we already got it below 3 million health, and now it's approaching 2 million health. In fact, yep, now it's below 2 million health right then and there. And now it's down to its last 1 million health. Let's see, alright, it's starting to get out of the slowing range, so yep, now it's gonna go max speed for temporarily time, and yep, this is gonna die on this corner. We're getting insanely close to wave 40 though, considering we're only 2 waves away from wave 40, and now we're gonna be 1 wave away. And boom, now we made it to wave 480. And now we made it past wave 490, and we have our final giant dirty bubble boss before we make it to wave 500. Yeah, unfortunately, it's barely even going to be slowed at all. In fact, this might be the first one to get on by. It had over 4 million health when it started, and finally got it down to 3 million health by this corner. And yep, just like that, it's out of the range of the Dream Gary, and it still has over 2 million health on it. Oh, hell no. Yeah, finally all the way over this way, we got it down to 1 million health, and it's definitely going to be close whether or not we're able to get it, but it seems like it's going to get on by just barely. Wait, is it? No, dang it. Yeah, now we're down to 65 health. It seems like we are still going to be able to make it to wave 500 though, which is crazy good. In fact, yep, now we're 5 waves away from wave 500. And now we're only 4 waves away. And 3 waves away, 2 waves away, and 1 wave away. And bang, somehow, someway, we actually ended up making it to wave 500. That is crazy cool. Yeah, now I think I'm strictly going to commentate over exactly when every single giant dirty ball boss spawns in, just to make this run a little bit quicker. So followed by wave 505, we have another one with 4.8 million health. Yeah, in order to stay alive, we still need to be able to get every single big slow anchovy, so I'm not even sure if that's going to be possible. Yeah, there's still quite a lot of them with a lot of health on them each, so it's definitely going to be tough whether or not we're able to get all 3 of them that is still alive. And then we have now we're down to 2 left, 1 left, and yeah, luckily we were able to get the last big slow anchovy, but now we're down to 30 health. I'll just see you guys with the final giant dirty ball boss spawns, and that will definitely be our demise. See you guys in about 15 or so waves. So yep, here we go. Finally by wave 519, we have another giant dirty bubble boss. It seems like we might actually end up losing beforehand though, so there's so many big slow injuries making it all the way over here. But here we go, maybe the giant dirty bubble will actually make it to the front. I mean, it got slow temporarily, and now it's gonna go max speed once again. But in order for us to die to, okay, yeah, it seems like we are gonna end up dying to the giant dirty bubble. That's crazy that this round took this long though. Finally, that's by week 519, we lost. Yeah, 44 minutes played, almost 5,000 takedowns in total, weight 518 beaten, 410 million damage done in total, and yeah, that is crazy good. I'll take it, dang. But yeah, after every single game, we'll definitely have a leaderboard on the screen for how far each team got, and right now, the old Secret Unit team got in first place with 518 waves beaten. Finally, last up on the list is definitely time to test out a full team of brand new Secret Units. That of which will be using a level 30 Hatchling and Slasher, Dennis, Orm, and finally the brand new Robot Mantis. Yeah, all of these units are definitely insanely strong for sure, so I'm definitely curious to see which one does best. But anyway, there's the level 30 Hatchling and Slasher equipped in. And unfortunately, we are going to have to use the level 40 Robot Mantis since I don't have a level 31. And the level 30 Dennis. And the level 30 Alaskan Bullworm. And yeah, if you're wondering how I got both those units in my inventory just magically appearing, huge shout out to Sever for letting me borrow the Dennis, as well as Jaden for lending me the Alaskan Bullworm. Shout out to you both. But yeah, as always, we'll include the Krusty Krab Farm 2 and the Elastic Waistband. And without any more waiting, let's just see exactly how far we can get on the same exact map once again. And yep, just like last time, we'll make sure to fully auto-skip yet again, and we'll play on 5 times game speed too. But I'll just see you guys in a few waves once both of our Krusty Krabs are fully maxed out. Should be in 2 waves anyway, so see you guys soon. So yeah, there we go, as soon as this gets to wave 6 just like so, we'll be able to instantly max out our Krusty Krab like that. And yeah, for now I think I definitely want to start with the Alaskan Bullworm, since similar to the Cyborg Plankton, this is the brand newest one, and for now we'll place it down right here since it does do piercing damage. And similar to the Jim Gary, it actually does slowing damage too, so I'm definitely excited to see which team does best since both teams finally do have a slowing unit. But anyway, yeah, on level 0, this one's doing 27,090 damage every 0.9 seconds and has 37.5 range. But there's this level 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yeah, what makes out does 54,180 damage every 0.8 seconds and has a total of 50 range on the dot. Next on the list, I definitely think I want to max out the Dennis, which for now we'll probably place right over, I don't even know where to place it to be honest, maybe right around here? Yeah, on level 0 is doing 21,480 damage every 0.9 seconds and has 40.5 range. But yet again, we can get it to level 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yeah, Wimax does 42,960 damage every 0.7 seconds and has 54 range on it. And yeah, it basically covers the entire map, which is exactly the goal of where I placed it. But now we'll just max out Robot Mantis, which for now we'll place right over here. Yeah, Wimax this one does a total of 44,082 damage every 0.5 seconds and has 36.6 range. But unfortunately, it does seem like we placed it in a sort of bad spot, so instead we'll place it and then sell and replace it right over that way. And dang it, this spot is still really not that great. Yeah, I think instead we're gonna have to place it right over here to make sure it covers both of this track over this way. Yeah, this should be the ideal placement for this unit right here, and instead now we'll just max out a Hatchling and Slasher next to, which for now I think we'll place right over here. Actually no, this is probably not that great of a spot, yeah, and so we'll place it right over this way. And yeah, one max out the Hatchling and Slasher does 37,152 damage every 0.4 seconds and has 58 range on it. And yep, it seems like where we placed this is basically the exact perfect spot we needed to place this, since it basically covers all the entire map yet again. And yep, just like last time, we needed to figure out exactly how much damage we were doing a second. So yeah, we'll definitely save the number from last time all the way over there. Oh wait, shit, I'm not even showing my screen. Wait, hold on. Oops, guys, my bad. Yeah, we'll definitely show this number. Well, we'll put it off to the side for now. That way we can see exactly how much damage we can compare them both with. But for now, let's just start with the brand newest one, the Robot Mantis. Yeah, let's see. If we do 44,082 damage divided by 0.5, we get exactly 88,164 damage just from the Robot Mantis. On top of that, the second newest one is definitely the Alaskan Bullworm, which was obtainable as of a week ago. And let's see, okay, this one is 54,180 damage every 0.8 seconds, which adds up to be exactly 67,725 damage. So yeah, just like the last one, we'll put that one off to the side, and now we'll add up the damage for the Dense, which is the third newest one. And let's see, yep, this one does 42,960 damage every 0.7 seconds, which adds up to be 61,371.4 damage. Last on the list is definitely time to add up the Hatchley and Slasher. Let's see, yep, this one does 37,152 damage every 0.4 seconds, which adds up to be a total of 92,880 damage. Yep, now we've added every single one from greatest to least amount of damage, and pull up one more calculator to do so. We can use 61,371.4 plus 67,725 plus 88,164 plus 92,880. We get exactly 310,140 damage a second. Yeah, wow, I'm not gonna lie, that's nearly double the amount of damage that the last team is doing. But to be fair, the last team actually basically covered the entire map, where a lot of these guys don't even really cover the majority of the map, which is definitely a very big problem. And especially for the Alaskan Bullworm, to be fair, it's already starting to deal with piercing damage, which isn't really the best attack whatsoever. And on top of that, it doesn't really reach much more range than the Dream Gary was able to last round. So yeah, I genuinely think this is going to be a close race to see which one does best overall. Anyway, just like last time, we're already through this wave 100, so this is definitely going to be a super close race for sure. But only 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, there we go. We made it to wave 99. This time the giant dirty ball died over here, and boom, now we made it to wave 100. And yep, just like last time, we'll commentate over every single small dirty bubble that spawns in. Starting with the small dirty ball that died over this way with, I think around 50,000 health. And then wave 109, we had another medium-sized one die over this way. But boom, now we finally made it to wave 110 on that, so yeah, we're already making progress to wave 200. And then wave 113, we have another giant one with 29,000 health die right here. And now we're only 2 waves away from wave 2 of 120, and we had a next smaller one die over here, but now we're only 1 wave away. And boom, now we made it to wave 120 as well. On wave 123, we had another medium-sized one die right here. And on wave 127, we had another giant one die over here too. Now we're only 2 waves away from wave 130 though. And 1 wave away. And boom, now we made it to wave 130. On wave 132 though, we had another smaller one die over here. And on wave 137, meaning we're 3 waves away from wave 140, we had a medium-sized one die right this way. But now we're only 2 waves away from wave 140. 1 wave away. And boom, now we made it to wave 140. On wave 141 though, we had another giant one die right here. And on wave 146, we had another small dirty ball die over this way. But yeah, now we're 3 waves away from wave 150, meaning we're about to be halfway to wave 200. And now we're only 2 waves away and 1 wave away, and boom, now we finally made it to wave 150. There goes our next small, medium-sized one dying over this, so we have 26,000 health. And on wave 155, we have a giant one reaching over 50,000 health, also dying over here too. On wave 160 though, we had a next smaller one die over this way again, and yep, now we made it to wave 160. And on wave 165, we had another medium-sized one die right here. And on wave 169, we have another giant one reaching over 60,000 health, still instantly dying over here. And on wave 174, we had another smaller one die over this way. And on wave 179, we have a medium-sized one with 38,000 health die right here. And boom, now we made it to wave 180. On wave 183 though, we have another medium-sized one die right this way. But now we're through to wave 190. And yep, now we're only 2 waves away, and there goes our next smaller dirty bubble with 35,000 health over here. But now we're only 1 wave away from wave 190, and boom, now we made it to wave 190. On wave 193 though, we had our final medium-sized one before we make it to wave 200, still dying right here. And on wave 197, we have our next giant dirty bubble dying right this way. Yep, now we're officially 3 waves away from wave 200, and now we're only 2 waves away, and 1 wave away, and bang, now we made it to wave 200. Yeah, now I think I'm definitely done commentating over all these small dirty bubble bosses that spawning, because yeah, every single time they spawn in like this one right here, they just immediately die right this way. Now we're officially through to wave 210, and we still care about all those medium-sized ones that also die right here, but eventually they will start making it far. But boom, now we finally made it to wave 210. On wave 211, we have our next giant one with 104,000 health die right here. And boom, now we already passed wave 220, and we defeated our next medium-sized one that died over here. And on wave 225, we have another giant one with 125,000 health, finally making some progress from all the way over here to all the way over this way. Yeah, now we're officially through to wave 230 though, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, now we made it to wave 230 on the dot. On wave 235, we have another medium one starting to make some progress like I said it would, so yeah, this time it died over here. And I'm pretty sure wave 239 is when the next giant one spawns in, so yeah, here it comes in 3, 2, 1, boom, 150,000 out dead right over here. Anyway, nice, now we made it to wave 240. And on wave 248, we have another medium-sized one with almost 100,000 health dying right here. Anyway, nice, now we finally made it to wave 250 on the dot. And we are definitely getting insanely close to wave 300 yet again already. Anyway, on wave 253, we have another giant one dying right here. And boom, now we made it to wave 260. On wave 263, we have another medium one with over $115,000 die right here. And on wave 267, we have another giant one with $217,000 die right this way. Yeah, now we're officially 2 waves away from wave 270 though. And 1 wave away. And boom, now we made it to wave 270. On wave 277, we have another medium one with $138,000 dying over here. And boom, now we made it to wave 280. On wave 281, though, we have another giant one with $260,000 die right here. And now we made it past wave 290, and we defeated our final medium-sized dirty bubble boss that we're gonna commentate over this wave, which died over here. And now we're officially 5 waves away from wave 300, and we're about to defeat another giant dirty bubble, making it over this way this time. But now we're only 4 waves away from wave 300, 3 waves away, 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, now we made it to wave 300. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Yeah, now I think I'm definitely done commentating over all these small dirty balls that die over this way. It's almost every single medium-sized dirty ball that just dies right here every single time. Well, we still do get rid of all these giant ones that spawn, like this one that made it right here with $375,000, and every single time we make it to wave 320, as well as wave 320. On wave 323, though, we have another giant one with $450,000, and finally it's making it to this intersection over here now. But on wave 337, we have another giant one with over $500,000 health, also dying right over here. Yeah, now we're only 2 waves away from wave 340, and yep, now we're gonna be 1 wave away from wave 340 as well. And boom, now it also skipped to wave 340. Now we finally also made it to wave 350, and on wave 351 we have another giant one with over $600,000, also making it pretty far. In fact, yeah, made it to exactly where Squidward's house is. Wow. Yeah, we might be able to make it to wave 500, but considering they're already making it right here, it's definitely gonna be insanely close for sure. Anyway, nice. Now we finally made it to wave 360 on the dot. And on wave 365, we have another giant one reaching $778,000, making it slightly past Squidward's house right over here. Anyway, now we're officially 3 waves away from wave 370. And yep, now we're only 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, now we finally made it to wave 370. On wave 379, though, we have another giant one with $900,000 health. So yeah, the next one will definitely have over $1 million health, but this one died over here yet again. In fact, yep, here comes another giant one, and like I said, here it is with over $1 million health at last. Yeah, even the $1 million health one is finally able to reach this corner at last for the first time ever. But now we're 5 waves away from wave 400, and now we're only 4 waves away from wave 400, and 3 waves away, 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, now we made it to wave 400. Yeah, now I think I'll strictly only commentate over every single time the Mandatory boss spawns in and how far it gets. So yeah, no more commentating over every single time like we make it to wave 410, 420, etc. So yeah, here you go. By wave 47, we have another one with 1.3 million out this time. And yeah, this one's also going to make it past the corner with a little bit over 200,000. This time dying right here. Wave 421 is when our next giant one spawns in. And yeah, this one is 1.6 million out compared to 1.3 million the last one had. And finally it's down to $1 million over in front of Squidward's house. 500,000 by the corner, and this time just barely it is gonna round this corner this way, this time dying right here. Our next one spawned on wave 435, and this one almost has 2 million out, and this time I got past this corner yet again, and this time passing this corner, this time dying right here. On wave 449, we have another one with over 2 million out that last play, and finally we got it below 2 million out though, and now it's down to 1 million out right over here. This time it's passing by this area yet again, and this time it's actually leaving the intersection for the first time ever, and wow, it's making it all the way right here. I know, I said I was going to commentate over the waves, but finally we made it to wave 450, meaning we're halfway from wave 400 to wave 500. But yeah, finally by wave 463, we have another giant one with over 2.7 million health, making it right here. Wow. Yeah, what a change of events, bro. I did not expect it to already make it all the way over this way. Jeez. But here we go. Finally by wave 477, we have another one with 3.3 million out this time, and hopefully we're still able to defeat it. Yeah, even these big slow enjoyers are making it all the way over this way, but it seems like we might actually be able to get this one a lot easier for some reason. Wait, that's so weird. Why was that one able to make it all the way over this way, but this one's only going to be able to make it to a little bit past this corner right over, okay, well, right over here. Strange. Well, either way, at least we were able to take it out. And here we go. By wave 491, we have another one reaching over 4 million health this time. Now it's down to this last 3 million health, and now, yep, now it's down to 2 million, 1 million, and dang, yeah, this one's also making it insanely far. In fact, yeah, this one is gonna die. Wow, it might actually get on by. Wait, it's gonna be close. Yeah, it's barely taking damage, and it seems like just barely we got it right here. Wow. Anyway, now we're officially 5 ways away from wave 500. And now we're only 4 waves away. And 3 waves away, 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom. Now we made it to wave 500. Wait, 505 though, we have another one reaching over 4.8 million health, but yeah, finally last, yet again, we got it down to this last 2 million health, 1 million health all the way over this one, but yeah, this one's also gonna be the first enemy to get on by. Yep, now we're down to 65 health just like that. I'm pretty sure the next giant animal to actually spawn in is actually the one that killed us last time around, so hopefully we're still able to defeat it. Yeah, this one by wave 519, yet again, it's 5.7 million health, but we have so many big slowing choices making it super far too, so I'm not sure if we're gonna be able to defeat all these guys as well. Yeah, some of them even have 800,000 health on them each, so yeah, it's definitely gonna be close whether or not we still stay alive. It seems like just barely we are gonna be able to take out every single big slow until it just barely does. Yeah, there goes the last one right there. And yep, as long as we're able to not take enough damage to lose this round, this is officially the new best. Wow, 30 health left and we still are alive. And boom, now we made it to wave 520, meaning this is officially better than the old secret units, just barely. As yeah, there it is with 6.9 million health. And yep, it is most definitely gonna get on by with over 3 million health still. So there it goes in 3, 2, 1, and dang it. We got so close to beating wave 533, but 532 waves beaten in total. I'll still take it. Yeah, before we wrap up the video, here's the final leaderboard. We have the newest Secret in first place with 532 waves beaten, and old Secret get in second place with 518 waves beaten. Definitely a super close leaderboard for sure, so that means that there's really not too much power creep in the game at the moment. Well, hopefully you guys still enjoyed it. If you did, definitely make sure to leave a like and subscribe, so it helps me out a ton. And yeah, I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video very soon again. Peace out, everybody.